Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you to the very first episode of the Dysfunctional podcast. I am your host, Megan. The very first episode here, we are going to talk about hustle and heart. We're going to talk about finding your path. We're going to talk about taking the harder option. All those things, right? They all kind of combine together. That's how I feel they combine together. So to give you a little bit of background on my hustle and heart, and where that stands with me, and why I feel that this should be the first episode. I thought about doing this podcast, and one of my boys said, what do you want your first episode to be about? And you can as a 45-year-old, you can be like, oh, well, I got this and this and this. And it's like, I'm not someone to make it about me. And so I started thinking, like, I really want to talk about what's the most relevant in my life. And the most relevant in my life is quitting my job and taking a completely different path of starting a gym, my own gym, which is a franchise though as well. So I want to make sure I clarify that as well. But let's kind of back it up just a little bit here. So I've been in the fitness industry a little over 15 years. And I started in the fitness industry, it's kind of like makes my heart nice and warm here. Makes me think back to where I started. I was about 65 pounds heavier than I am now. And there was a local boot camp class in walking distance of my home. Used to live in Minnesota, so back in Minnesota, and took the class and walked in the boot camp, and walk in and everybody knows everybody, and people are standing over there talking, and they're over there and they're all happy, and I'm like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna have to do? I mean, it's boot camp, so I'm like, push-ups and pull-ups and all these things I'm gonna have to do, and I'm like, no way. Like, you're lucky I'm here. Let's just clarify that, right? And like, people knowing each other was really uncomfortable for me. One thing to just kind of know is, as much as I am outspoken and very transparent, I'm uncomfortable in situations I don't know. Like, I like to know, like, who's going to be there, what's it look like, where's the bathrooms, where's the escape route. But going to that first class, one person turned immediately, and she looked at me and came over and she's like, "Hey, I've never seen you before." She had to have been maybe 10 years older than me at the time. And I was like, I've never been, I try to be like cool, like I know what's gonna happen, right? Even though I'm like literally kind of slightly shitting my pants, but not literally shitting my pants. And I'm like, yeah, nope, never been here before, but like, it's fitness, like, right? Like, what are we gonna do? What's the big deal? Went to class, died slightly inside, and went back for more, of course, right? Like we all do, right? Sometimes. Loved it. Hated it during, loved it after. And Rebecca was our instructor, our trainer, and she just was happy and beautiful and emulated amazingness. And the women and men in the room were the reason I went back. They made me feel that whatever I thought of myself, whatever I brought in, it didn't fucking matter. We were all there for the same purpose, for the same reason. And that's when I just fell in love. It makes me just kind of like emotional a little bit here. Let me just have a moment. Makes me really emotional because, no, like legit emotional right now. Because for someone who felt the way I felt, of being, I felt I was overweight, just walking into really uncomfortable by myself, right? Being a mom, like, I think I like had all those excuses. I made them be my excuses of why this was weird for me, or why this is uncomfortable, because it's this, and this, right? That's why we always want to categorize things when we try new things or uncomfortable things. And so, anyway, remember I said long story short. Yeah. So one thing to know about me, there's no short. I just like to say long story short to make you think it's gonna be, and then I suck you in. Yeah, we're in right now. But no, I went to the class, hated it, but then felt this inner beast in me of like, yeah, I am a fucking mother. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am a wife. I am a this. I am a that. And then it was like, no, I'm just doing squats. Just shut up, brain. You are just doing this. And then it became like this camaraderie of like people gave a shit you were there. Like, where do you find that? Right? Like, and then within fitness and wearing spandex and sweating and oh my God, this is amazing. It's where I found my love for fitness. I went into nursing in school and went into the paramedic route, and then went into nursing route, and fitness just became this pull where I just loved the feeling it gave me of just shutting the world out and knowing that I am capable of that move. Yeah, some people climb mountains. I was capable in that moment for that one squat, for that second squat, for that 10th squat, for that 20 pounds I lost, the 30, the 40, the 50, the 60, so on and so on. I was capable. Yes, these people allowed me to feel that, that made me feel drawn to them, that made me better. And then that's where I wanted to teach a class. It didn't start that way as much as it started where I'd go up to Rebecca and say, yeah, you know what we should do? We should do wall sits. Like I saw this like video or I saw this person in the gym. They were doing wall sits and it looked like it would just be terrible. And then when she had us doing it, I was like, I thought since it was my idea, I wouldn't have to do this. And then she would be like, this was Megan's idea. And then people would look down and like yell and we would, in a good way, right? Like yell at each other and we'd talk back and forth and they'd be like, you keep your mouth shut, Megan, next time. And then it escalated where she was like, you should teach a class. And I'm like, but I don't look like you, right? I don't emulate that. And you have this energy about you. And she's like, oh, yes, you do. It was for her, because I didn't see it. I felt it within myself. But I was like, God, for all the little things I'm telling myself, and then you want me to instruct people, I don't think I can encourage them because I'm not encouraging myself, right? I'm sitting there like, I can't fucking do this. You're a fucking piece of shit. That's literally, I'm very transparent. The things I would say to myself, which I understand is not healthy. But we all have our own levels of healthy and unhealthy relationships with ourselves. But I was like, do another one, get lower, get stronger, get there, get there. Then I taught my first class, did the group fitness training cert, and did my first class, super nervous. After even 15 years, I would tell some of the coaches that I've worked with just, previously here, that every single time I teach, coach, whatever you want to say to the class, I am nervous. I get butterflies in my stomach. I practice what I'm going to say in the car, and it still never comes out that way. I'm the person that thinks I'm going to say this, and then I go this way. And it's like, bring it back, bring it back. I just authentically like will get the mic, and then it just is like, boom, whatever comes out is everyone's surprise, right? But I've always been nervous. And so I thought the nerves would go away. And I think, that nerves is important. It shows a vulnerability. It shows the fact that I'm going to be true to my heart and I'm going to lead through my heart. If I were to practice a script over and over and over, then great. We got a commercial. It's a cut. We're good. Right. But to know that like whatever I'm feeling or I see is going to come through me in that moment of seeing you do a move in fitness, or you grab heavier weights, or you slow the rep down, or you shoulders are back, or maybe you got a little deeper, or you know what? You just walked in the fucking door. Like that's a, a that's a moment. That's a great moment. I love to celebrate that. So evolve 15 years later, here I am. Here I am. I have worked at several different places. I have loved every single moment of working at every single place I've ever worked at. Um, like I said, I lived in Minnesota, so started at a smaller, I mean, it was pretty large name gym. But I think once I moved into the franchises of different companies, those seemed to be bigger for me, but I don't mean bigger in the way of capacity, but bigger in the way of more buzz around those places, if that makes any sense. Um, and so I've always loved my growth, right? It took me a while. I think that in the last 5 years, I have really grown in the fitness industry of taking feedback, learning. One of the biggest words that I've always heard is pivoting, right? I mean, sometimes running in circles, but pivoting and really finding what's good for the members has always been my biggest thing, and biggest advocate is for the members. That's what, it's, I guess you can look at any person that is a performer. um, I don't say that we're like performing because that sounds so scripted, but like, athlete needs an audience, right? People who are on stage need an audience. If gyms need members. And so, we can go through the hello, welcome, how are you? And what do you want to do about your body? And it's like, ugh, it just makes me want to barf. It's like, instead, like, we all have a story. We're all so amazing and we all can come together. I think one of the biggest things sometimes is I sit back and I would look at a classroom full of 30, 40 people and about to teach or after teaching, and maybe we're stretching, things like that at the end, and all the different sizes, shapes, clothes that they're wearing, from just a sports bra over here to a baggy sweatshirt over here, because that's their comfort, that's what they brought, and them showing up. Like, I know before the pandemic I'd be hugging and squeezing and high-fiving, and the pandemic happened and it was like, whoa, don't touch, right? That was a hard thing, and being able to not have that personal connection with people. I think that following my steps in fitness and just kind of keep going and never giving up, to just want to be around people who wanted to escape. People go into fitness for all different reasons, right? I can speak for myself. We all go into it for all different reasons. However, the the part that's in the middle of why we're in that classroom and why we keep going is that synergy in there. Oh, sorry. Is that synergy in there? It's, is it the music? Is it the instructor? Is it the people that brought everybody together? Is it that vibe, that energy? It's all of that. It's this amazing, beautiful stew of like everybody together, everyone vibing off. I will clarify one thing. I am slightly appropriately inappropriate when I teach. Uh, I feel like if I say it like that, it sounds like, that sounds fun. um, I don't demean people, but I like to just get under your skin just enough. Making eye contact with you. Just under your skin just enough for you to think to yourself, I fucking got this. And I got this because she fucking believes in me. I 100%, 100%. That's how I felt. And Rebecca could have been just like, whatever. I believe in every single person here, whatever. I felt she believed in me. I felt that that's what got me to come to another class. I wanted to box that up, put it in my pocket, and I wanted to deliver that to the universe, right? So now let's put brakes on that one. I know I'm leaving lots of holes, in this conversation. And so lived in Minneapolis. I have 4 boys, and with my husband, we lived in Minneapolis. And 1 year ago, 1 year ago tomorrow. Oh my God, 1 year ago tomorrow, we moved here to the Madison area of Wisconsin, out of Minneapolis. We actually lived in the city of Minneapolis, not in the downtown city, but in the city of Minneapolis, in not a safe part of Minneapolis. And so we moved here I mean, to be, to just tell you, like, we moved here for the quality of life of our kids. We wanted our kids to be able to jog on the street, ride their bikes, play outside, which sounds probably like, okay, well, just have them ride their bikes and jog on the street and play outside. Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't possible to happen safely in the neighborhood we lived in. So we made a choice, a hard choice. Was it an easy choice to go, you know what? Let's sell our home that we had to have a co-signer for, right? Because we didn't have, we were both in school at the time. Um, I did, get a job again in fitness. But it's the point of like, all the different times in our lives of like going back to school, going back to school, how many times I've gone back to school, right? And still not working for the degree I went for, but loving my life. And then my husband going to school and now doing a career in something he did not go to school for. So remember that when you're in school and you're in college, go to college, but follow your heart. And so we're in school and all this stuff. So got our house and was like, God, sell our home, have our kids switch schools. It's a pandemic at this time. Let's remind ourselves because it was a year ago now, like tomorrow. Uh, and so, it's like that's such an adult thing to do. I'm kind of like, God, I don't, that's ballsy. And what if it goes to shit? And what if it doesn't work? The one thing is that I worked for a fitness company in Minneapolis, and one of their franchises is here in Madison. So there was a no brainer for me to switch from the corporate setting. Even though I say it's corporate, I wasn't sitting at a desk working. It was just, it was their corporate setting in the way of rolling things out and trying out new things that could work within that fitness company. And so it was a no-brainer for me to come work for the same company because it's a place that celebrates and honors members, which they still do here in the Madison area. So it definitely was like, well, duh. I mean, that's perfect. But uprooting, I will say, our family. And my husband and I grew up in Minnesota and grew up in the same city. We grew up in Richfield, is a suburb of Minneapolis. And yeah, it was a big change and a big deal. And my family's there and my life was there, right? Like I knew the streets and you knew where we were going, you knew the stores, and it was a hard decision. And do I regret it? Hell no. Hell no, I don't regret it. It was for the quality of life of our kids. That's what we said. We still stand by today. And when we moved here, it was about, I don't know, 6, 7 months in, my husband and I started talking like, we say that we moved here for the quality of life of the kids, but what about us? Like, are are we happy? I think what's shitty is that sometimes when we ask ourselves, like, are we happy? We feel bad to say no. Because then it's like, well, God, like, you're not thankful for the home you have and the dogs and the kids. It's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And I didn't say that, like, I won't wake up every day and be the best version of myself and encourage members and be great at what I do. It's just that there's that little spot, wherever that is in your body, that little teeny spot that's like, hello, I'm over here, telling me like, this isn't it. This isn't it. I try to say it in a way that when I was here, I was telling my husband that I was like, there's this box. And it was like, oh my gosh, you can move here. See this box? It's got the grass is greener. The grass is actually really green here. The grass is greener. There's no drive-bys where we live. The dogs can run freely. We have 4 dogs. The dogs can run freely. And the kids can ride their bike literally around the block. Uh, our oldest son can jog and we can go to, we do all this and there's this pretty little box. And I was like, yes. And you can work for the same company, just a franchise. So just a different version of the same company. Yes. You can do this. Yes. You can still encourage people. Yes. You can still have this and that. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Sign me up. Sign me up. Then after a little bit, it was like this box. Like, it's just like, I want to peek out of the box. Like okay, now what? Now I get more? Is there more? Like I want to encourage 100 more people. I want to know more stories about them. I want to get them to the next level of their fitness journey. I want to know like what brought them in the door even more. Um and that's when I started realizing that voice in my head of starting your own gym. And it was like, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll just go to this gym and this amazing place and work with all these amazing members and you know, love my job still to this day. Loved my job. Loved 100% loved my job. Authentic as I am, put my heart on my sleeve. I think that's the hardest decision I made was leaving my job. It got to be where like when you break up and you hear those breakups of, I wanted to break up because no, 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 it's me, it's not you. This literally was a me thing, not a them thing. And it got to be where I was driving to work and I was listening to kind of walk up songs. Is that what people call it? Hype songs. Um, and I was listening to the songs and it was like, all right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Put my headphones in, put them in my case and walk in the door and do it. Let's do this, right? But feeling like when it was done, when my day was done, or even parts of my day, I would feel like this, like I'm just trying to explain it on the spot here of like, like this buzz is going of like love and energy, this energy. I don't mean buzz like drinking. I mean like buzz like, yes, let's go. We're doing this. We're doing this. Let's go. And it was like, oh yeah, we're doing it again. It was those little dips in my day that was like, this isn't enough though for you. And it was like, who's saying that? I mean, it wasn't really out loud. It was just kind of my inner heart, the flame, the fire in my gut, the fire in my ass of like, there's more to this. And it was like, yeah, I know there's more to this. And then I'd go back to doing the role that I was meant to do. And then it got to be about 2 months of going to work. And the drive is about 45 minutes to work. And it started wearing on me, the drive. I'm more than happy driving whatever for the happiness. You got to find your happy. And if it takes you this direction, that direction, this direction, that direction, we got to go for that shit. And driving and like starting listening to podcasts about, just finding that balance in our life and the quality of our life. And that's where it brought me back. Like we did it for our kids. Why the fuck aren't we doing it for us? Like why as parents, as parents, or don't even have to be a parent in a relationship with ourselves, right? Why do we always put shit back there? Like, why is it not relevant? Because it's like, well, first off, you don't have any money to start your own gym. And yeah, you have passion and dynamicness and you love people and you could totally do it, but you don't have the money. So you probably can't, you can't do it. And it was like, no, I'm going to fucking do it. No. Everything, I'm a big, huge believer in everything always works out at the right time that it's supposed to. And it really fucking sucks when it doesn't. And then when things start to kind of go really well, that's when you go, oh yeah, there was a reason for that. But it really sucked when I was in that. So I was driving to work and literally, little snip here, lost my mom 8 years ago to breast cancer. And I literally could hear her say, what the fuck are you doing, Megan? As I was driving to work. And she would have said the F word, yeah. So that was just, it's her quotes. I'm going to use the quotes for her, okay, on that one. And I was like, I'm doing what's easy. Now I'm going to get emotional again. Look at what you're doing to me. It makes me kind of emotional because it's like, I'm just one person. Oh my God, I need to like buck up. I need to buck up and just like, you should see when I teach classes, I just yell at people, but this is a different side. Yeah, it was like, I'm doing what's easy. And I was just like, just be quiet. Then I would be out loud, like talking to my mom, like, I know you raised a high-spirited, strong woman that goes after what she wants, but I have what I want. I have this amazing life, an amazing husband, and 4 dogs, and all 4 of our boys are healthy. Praise, praise, praise. They're healthy and happy and amazing. And I have an amazing siblings and I had an amazing, and we all have an amazing fucking life. We all have a story, 100%. But don't look at that. Look at the amazingness. And I had this opportunity to work in the same company. Like, you're going to fuck that up? You're going to let go of that? And it was like, yep, I am. Because there's more. There's more. I'm taking the easy fucking route. When the fuck do I want to take the easy route? My kid's coming to me. Our oldest son is 22. And, you start to, as a person or friends in your life, as you start to, when they come to you, I was thinking like, if someone came to me and said, I want to do this, but I feel this, I'd be like, fuck that. Do that. What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you better? Go for that. That's what's important. And so why the fuck wasn't I listening to that? Why was I any different, right? Because you don't have this pretty little tree that has money on it. Um, but I have fucking heart and I have passion and desire and I am a dynamic human that can allow people to be whatever they need to be in the space that I offer so that it's not some it is come as you are with what you have. And what do you fucking want? You want to go there? I'm going to get you there. You want to be here? I'm going to get you here. And I'm going to fucking love and support you along that whole way. How can I do that? By opening my own gym. So that's why I'm in the process right now, still in the process. So to be continued of opening my first franchise. I will bust it out when I'll let you know what the franchise is. Many of you who follow me on my Instagram on Dysfunctional Megan probably know what the franchise is, but kind of wait until those final papers are signed to really launch that, where it'll be, which will be amazing. But you're in the process with me, and during this time, I want to start this podcast and talk about hustle and heart and relationships and people and love and loss and shitty stuff that choices I've made in my life that maybe you've made or you can contribute to and we can talk about here. But so I decided to start my own franchise and found a couple people in the fitness industry that want to go in on it with me and talked about ownership, talked about leading, talked about all this amazing stuff. And at the 11th hour, like they like to say in the corporate world, so the tick of the clock as Cinderella lost her slipper, right? Right at the stroke of midnight, the investors decided it wasn't a good fit for they need to keep running the company that they built, which is 100% true. It was stung me like in my chest for a little bit. I took it oh so gracefully, as we should, right? Because those people did the same thing. They led with their heart. You can't go fucking wrong when you lead with your heart. They were honest. We were honest all up front. And it is important to something that they already built to do that. They were excited to go into it with me because, we had that, relationship kind of starting and brewing together, but it wasn't meant to be. And as much as that was like, fuck, someone kicked me in my balls, it was more like, going back to what I say, right? Everything is meant to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And then it was like, yeah, but I don't like this one. Right. Or I was telling one of my friends, I was like, can you just show me like 5 pages ahead what it might look like? Because I just want a little peek at it. I won't study it. Just what does my life look like 5 pages ahead? Is it really gonna happen? And I started thinking like, no, there's a fucking goal here. There is a goal. And one of my good friends, Jen, here was like, yeah, you still got that goal. It just is going to have a different little path to it. And it's like, yep, it is. So went back to square one and started, feeling sorry for myself for a day. I'm going to say a day. It was probably a couple days. Feeling sorry for myself. Like, I'm not going to work out. Why? I'm not going to go for a walk. I'm not going to eat right. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Who gives a shit, right? Just be a mom, get the kids up, get them off to school, do laundry, which I'm not a very good stay-at-home mom right now, I'll tell you that. And so props to all the stay-at-home moms. Can we just have a moment? Like, seriously, props. Not for me. But really kind of going back to square one, taking 30 steps back, right? But I learned so much in those months that we were rolling it out, the paperwork, trust, conversation, communication. What where I wanted to see my business was someone when we get there. Found found a new investor, single investor, so one person, and we're meeting on different moments at the right now of what are those expectations? What do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? What do you, back and forth? What's our communication like? It's really good. When we first met, we went back and forth. He came to me through a dear person who I'm not going to say because that person would really appreciate it. Who's a very private person, came to me through this person, and it was like we have to meet because we have to meet to see if we even have a vibe, and it's just like our force is amazing, and we're still in the process. So could we hit another 11th hour? 100% we could, and you're gonna hear about it if it happens, when it happens, how does it happen? But in this time, how can I still go to the goal, right? How can I still achieve my goal? How can I still get to my finish line? Do I have a finish line, right? How can I get there? Is it by just sitting and waiting, like wait for the next meeting? No, it's where I'm educating myself on tools of running a business, reading books, taking those walks, and listening to my podcast that uh, resonates with me. And it might be a different one every day. But finding my balance so I can be a better version and learning the area where we are now. We are in the Madison area. So learning all these local places. And even though we are still the Midwest, but like finding the hustle and heart. I have never lacked the hustle when it comes to whether it's hitting the pavement to sell, because I know when it comes to fitness and people, it's a no-brainer. I can help you. Is it a walk that you're looking for? Do your hips hurt? Do your knees hurt? Do you have no motivation? Like I can find what you need and I'd be happy to help you with that. But it's also the heart, right? Being authentic, being yourself. You can't go fucking wrong because if it doesn't sit well with you with what I'm saying, then we don't mesh together. We don't work together. Great, perfect. You'll find someone who does, right? You'll find instead of me putting a front on of, I made a joke that I was like, "Oh my God, I should go do my hair, put my makeup on and get ready for this." And my youngest, who's 8, was like, "Oh my God, can I do your makeup?" And I was like, "No, I was totally joking. I don't, it's maybe like 2, 3 times a year I wear makeup." So this is it. I'm even growing out my grays. Yeah, I don't even know which way this is going here. Yeah, we're growing the grays. So like all natural, baby. I'm 45, mother of 4 boys, and starting my own business, quitting my job, unemployed right now, no income. Hardest decision I ever made. My heart wept leaving the fitness industry, but knowing I'm going to be back in a different version, in a different setting, but still myself, but growing within that time. So that's what I want to talk about is that was my story of what leads me here unemployed, starting my own gym, and finding someone to believe in me, going to a bank to be like, can we get a personal loan? Well, do you have cash flow? Oh yeah, my husband has a job. Yeah, and we put this much down on our house and we have this and we have that and we have 4 kids. Can we give you one of our kids? That didn't work so well. But really looking at the fact of like what we have and what I have, you can't fucking buy. Like, like the banker said, you don't have anything to show for this. So we're not actually going to be able to approve it. But damn, you have so much passion and heart and knowledge. You have so much knowledge to run a business, but now you just need the money. And I'm like, so now you're telling me the one thing that I can't fucking do. You're giving me not just a no, you're giving me a solid no with fucking doors slammed in my face because I can't produce that amount of money this soon. Like he said, you can wait like 5 years and save it up and maybe you can find another person who has that franchise and go into business with them. It's like, no, 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 no. It's not part of the plan. The plan is I'm going to run my own gym. It's going to be me who's running it. And I'm going to celebrate the fuck out of everybody who comes in and out of that door, employees, members, anybody who comes in, myself. And that's not part of the plan. That's not part of the plan. It's not what my soul and my gut tells me that I need to be doing. So thank you. And I told him, thank you, but you're giving me the one thing that I can't physically produce right here. I just need one person who believes in me. You got all these people who believe in you, that you know you're going to be great, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And it's like, but I need that key element of money. Found it. Found that person. And like I said, we're in the process. So that leads me to you. Finding your hustle and heart. What's that? Especially because of the pandemic, kind of made me feel like you stopped. A lot of people have said that. Like they stopped in their world to have more time at home with their kids, to realize they're probably not a stay-at-home teacher or a stay-at-home mom. To find what their real passion is. And why do we make excuses for, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It's a lot of work. Like, I got to look into it. I got to find someone. Like, do I got to do this? Do I got to do that to get there? Find it. Like, what is holding you back from it? Or whatever's holding you back, being honest about it. I held back from mine, like I said, because I was taking what was easy, right? I was taking the easy way out for what worked for me because I'd always, pull the mom card here of being like, the kids have a lot going on, right? I'll wait till they get through that. And here I sit at 45 going, no, well, why do I have to wait till they get through that for me to have my fucking time? We moved here for the quality of life of them. It's the quality of life of me, for you. That one thing that's like, you really should do this. And you're like, oh, that would be amazing if I did that. What the fuck is holding you back? Because you're too old? That's bullshit. Because you don't have any money? That's bullshit. I said the same thing. Because you just, I don't know, you're tired of thinking you were going to do it and that moment passed. Go back to that moment. That moment's still fucking there. Someone has it. You have it. It's your hustle. It's your heart. Get the fuck under it and do it. Because so much digital platform, put it out there. Let's talk about it. Bring it up. But I just wanted to get this first episode out to tell you what I'm doing and what you should be doing. If you are happy in your life, fucking wake up every day and what an amazing day, right? Like I say, life can be shitty and messy and gross and fucking disgusting and fucking beautiful. And we're going to talk about that here on the Dysfunctional Podcast. I wanted to start with finding that trueness to yourself. And maybe you hear that little voice and you're like, yeah, I'm okay putting it to rest. Maybe you're okay with that. But knowing if someone were to give you an opportunity to go, hey, listen, I got an opportunity for you to do this and it won't cost you anything and it'll be super stress-free and all you have to do is just quit your job. Would you do it? If you would do it, if you ask all these questions, you know the answer. It's going to be a hard pivot. It's going to be a hard decision, but will be the best thing you ever did. Do I regret being unemployed right now and leaving my job? No, not one bit. Do I miss the members and do I miss coaching and do I miss celebrating people? 100%. But I'm not done. It's just that part is stopped so I can move this part going forward. So what is your going forward? What do you want? Really, in the quiet of your heart, what do you want? Right? And what do you need to do to get there? Or taking those little steps to get there. The pandemic has really slowed me down as I am a mover, has slowed me down to really listen inward to myself and to create a toughness different than a toughness that you might see on the microphone or teaching a class or maybe through some of these episodes that we're going to do, but a toughness that is a quiet toughness, a patience, but diligent, right? Being diligent, being quietly patient while my flame is going here, if that makes any sense. So, welcome to this journey of the Dysfunctional podcast. And I look forward to many more. And the next episode is going to be a surprise for you as much as it is for me, because I'm going to take it as it comes. And like I said, follow me on Instagram at the Dysfunctional Megan. I'm sorry, follow me on Instagram at Dysfunctional Megan. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you again.